I'm here with Jacqueline Sullivan, who has brought the most beautiful cards. And now, Jacqueline, you've promised me this is actually super easy. So how do we get started?
Super easy. So we're going to start with a piece of the 9x12 matte film, and we'll take that out and tear it in half, which I've already done here. And you want to mark the center.
Why are we marking the center?
Because we want to work on one side, and if we fold it first, the ink keeps sliding around. So we're going to use the alcohol inks to paint the flower. So we're going to put just one drop of the ink down.
That doesn't seem like enough to me.
Well, we'll build it in layers, and we're going to put one drop of the alcohol down.
Now, my understanding with alcohol ink is the reason you're not doing this on like watercolor paper is it needs that slick surface.
Right, it likes the slick surface. It sticks to a lot of slick surfaces.
Are you using like the keyboard cleaning stuff?
I am using the keyboard cleaner stuff. So we just keep building this up, and it gets darker and darker.
That's so cool because, you know, I'm kind of a more is more person, so I always want to throw as much as possible on there, but I like the idea of building it slowly. It's part of what is the depth and the beauty of these flowers you've brought.
Right, that gives it the depth and creates dimension as you're working. And you kind of want your alcohol to be in the shape that the flower petal's going to be. So if I was going for a round flower petal, which I'm not, I'm trying to get a straight one here, you would want it to be more round.
So that's just thinking about the angle that you're blowing it from, right? I love the just soft watercolor look that you get and how you can see the edge of every single layer
Precisely.
It's super cool.
It is very close. If you're familiar with watercolors, it's very close to watercolor techniques.
So tell me the truth.
There's no brushes involved.
When you were like cleaning your computer keyboard, did you suddenly go, I could use this as an art supply?
Well, people were blowing through straws, and I'm like, I don't have that much air. What else has got air? And then I saw the keyboard cleaner and thought, well, wow, that will do it.
That is really clever. I have to say, I think that there are a lot of things like that where people traditionally do it one way, but you can find a way around it that's easier. I mean, this is what innovation is essentially, right?
Right, exactly. You're in your studio, you're always asking the what if question. What if I did this? What if I did that?
Oh my God, you are so a girl after my own heart. I ask myself that all the time because I think that when you do that, that's what leads to discovery. Because what's the worst thing that happens? You ruin a piece of paper.
Exactly, exactly. So. And then I'm going to put the green on for the little stamen here, and kind of spreading it out in the area that I want it.
So do you look at
a little bit of rubbing alcohol.
What does the rubbing alcohol do?
It thins it down a little bit, helps it to move, and then it also gives me some more of that kind of dimension.
Okay.
So it gives me makes some of it opaque and some of it translucent.
So you couldn't use water. I mean, that old saying about alcohol and water don't mix.
Yeah, these don't mix so well. So I'm going to draw a stem really quickly here.
I was getting nervous, but I see it's like a fine liner tip, so you can draw with it.
It's the way the needle-shaped tip is, the ink comes out and you can get a good little drawing with it.
Now, did you study actual flowers to do this, or are these fantasy flowers from your mind?
They're kind of fantasy flowers from my mind.
Which I like, because I always think like then it's truly, truly unique, because if you wanted to use a photo, you might as well use a photo, right?
Correct.
That is just such a cool effect how it blows it out like that. It just really
and then you get your light
softens it.
area. And then with the next layer, you get your darker areas.
So do you have to wait for it to dry, or is it pretty dry almost immediately?
It dries really quickly. It's almost immediate. That's why it'll stick to the slick surfaces.
That's so neat. So you could do this on plastic. You could do this on like anything that was non-porous.
Plastic, glass, ceramic. A lot of people do it on ceramic tiles.
Oh my gosh, ceramic tile. That's such a good idea.
Yeah, they are gorgeous when you do them for coasters or something like that.
I love that. I'm renovating a house, and I always think like I should make my own tiles, but it seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a big job, isn't it?
It is.
So now I'm going to put some grass around this.
Okay. And how did you pick your colors? Did you just pick like nature colors, or were you being very specific with your palette?
No, I just picked nature colors, and you know, everybody loves the turquoise, teal kind of color.
Well, who doesn't? It's a fabulous color, right?
And even when you see a flower in the field, there's a lot of green behind it. So even though I've got this big thing coming out, I'm going to
So you're just defining it by adding like a darker area.
And I can take a brush and kind of pull it up in there and get just a little bit more definition to what I want.
That's so, there's so many different ways to control it or not control it, depending on how you feel.
Right. And you just want to be free with it. I mean, they're abstracted flowers, they're not for real.
Right.
So then when we get that done, I mean, part of what I like on this is the text showing through. I'm going to take the other half of the sheet and put it here, and I'm going to take a sheet of this printable film, and I have pre-printed it on my computer, and I set it up so that it was 4 to a page, and so if I cut it in half this way and cut it in half this way, I've got the exact size I need.
Oh, perfect.
So this is one, and now you don't want to try to put the whole sheet down at once.
Oh, is it adhesive backed?
It's adhesive backed.
Okay, why don't you want to try to put the whole sheet down at once?
When I did that, I got wrinkles. So to avoid the wrinkles, I'm just going to take the sheet like so, and I'm going to line it up at the top. And you put that down, and then you just pull this off and burnish.
If only it were so easy to avoid wrinkles on your face.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Nice?
We should be so lucky. And then I'm going to put that inside here, and then I get the show through from the flower to the words, which I just love how you can see through that. And this is an extra little page I put inside. I do that with all my cards, so if you want to write a note or something, it's there. And it's cut just 1/4 inch smaller than the outside sheets, just so it doesn't hang out.
Almost like a book.
It's a little booklet, exactly. So line them up, except for the middle one, which comes over here. And I'm going to fold it. And it takes a fair amount of burnishing to fold the film.
So you're using a bone folder.
I'm using the bone folder.
But you could certainly use like a credit card or the back of a knife or just anything that was a hard edge.
Exactly, exactly. Then I'm going to open it up again, and I am going to punch 2 holes. I'm not going to measure them or try to even be exact because it just doesn't matter.
Why would you bother, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Handmade things are always, I think, meant to be a little bit wonky and a little bit handmade, right?
Yes. And I'm going to be just right on the fold here, as close to it as I can get.
And this is, I assume, so that you are able to keep all of those pages together, you need to basically bind them.
Correct. So our binding is really simple. Some people call it a rubber band binding. This is a piece of elastic thread.
Oh, like from a candy box.
Yes, a candy box. I'm just going to tie a little knot in it here. And then I want to put it through these holes. And this, Julie, is the hardest part of the whole thing.
Well, so there's always something in a project that's like a little bit fussy, and this is our moment.
This is the fussy moment. So you want to have it lined up. And then you want to put part of it through that hole.
So you're putting the loop through, and it's really it's fussy because the hole is so tiny.
Correct.
That's all it is.
So the first one usually goes on fairly easily. Now I pick up sticks from the yard, and I try to find something that's a little bit interesting but still fairly straight. So, and they're about 6 to 9 inches long. So you put the stick in the loop, and then pull the loop tight. And then now I'm going to take another loop.
From the other side,
I see.
Okay, so the knot is staying inside the card.
Correct.
Okay, and that's when you're going to put that other piece through. Now you could also use.
Through.
See how good you are? You were worried.
If it wouldn't go through, I would have used this little thing I made out of a paper clip and pull it through. But
clever.
Just because we're on camera, I decided to take it easy on me. So then you're just going to put this over here and pull it tight. Now it's loose in here.
Okay.
So I'm going to tighten it up just by turning this around.
Okay.
And making a bigger
knot.
Bigger knot.
Very clever. That's so cool. And so now look at this beautiful collection of cards. Absolutely outstanding. I love it. Jacqueline, this has been so fun and so easy, and I feel like I could do it. Thank you.